Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to another fun Monday evening here on the Comic Art Live channel. I had a very eventful weekend. I hope everybody did too. As Before we get started today, I wanted to let everybody know I hope to have the voting for the best of turned on today, and we didn't get to it, unfortunately. So that will be turned on tomorrow. For those of you who are hoping to start casting votes immediately in our annual event on Comic Card Fans, you'll have to wait one more day for that. But we should have it on CAF by noon-ish Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. So without further ado, though, let me bring in my two guests this evening. First is Ellery, and next is Jiggy. Good evening, gentlemen.
Evening.
How are we this evening, or this morning for you?
Great. Excited to be back.
Yeah, it's been a few months, Jiggy, right? We haven't shared too much screen time, it feels like, since the last
and I had to get rid of the beard.
Yeah, you look younger again.
I just noticed.
I thought you were going to keep it after November.
Some girls weren't happy with it, so okay.
Oh, yeah. Well, they're the audience anyway, so.
I understand. I remember I thought you looked very distinguished with the beard, though.
Thank you, Bill.
So one day,
if you ever Josh, for thinking that I clean up nights.
So welcome to the show, Ellery and G. So we're gonna talk today. We started these shows off always differently. As everybody knows, we're going to be showing off art pieces from Ellery's career, but also we'll have some art for sale. And we've always done your shows a little differently, Jiggy, where we kind of show artwork for sale throughout the show. Like we'll show a few pieces, example pieces to talk about, and then we'll show artworks for sale. So we'll get into, there's not a whole lot to know about the art sale portion if you've seen one of these before. When we get to that, it's all your standard stuff as far as the shipping. As you know, the artwork's in the Philippines, and Jiggy charges $50 to ship, and he ships still via DHL, right?
Yes.
Perfect.
And DHL has gone through price increases, but we're sticking with the 50 for everyone. Yeah.
I'm a little surprised at the shipping increases that happened. I charged $20 for shipping when we did the mystery sketch. I pretty much lost money on 50% of the shipping, even here in the U.S. And partially, I think, because I'm in Florida now. When I was in Ohio, I was more central. But when any package that I had to ship to the West Coast from Florida, that cost $20. So you figure after the Masonite purchase and the bags and everything else, I've learned. I had no idea. But
we'll have to do some tweaks for me.
Yeah, no, exactly. And that probably end up needing another $5 to make sure I break even across the board. But yeah, so that's so let's get started. Ellery, you were already giving me some background before the show started, Ellery, when you were talking about how you had met Sal back in the day and whatnot. So but I'm sure there's even more backstory. So as far as your career goes, when did you first started feeling a drive to become an artist, and more in particular a comic creator? Was that always a goal or a dream when you were younger?
I think in my younger years, like the first thing that really captured my interest was anime. It's very prevalent here in 90s. And then when my sister started drawing Sailor Moon, and I remember I was 3 then. And then I just kept on asking her to draw it for me. And she was like, I think she got fed up and just refuses to draw for me. And I was like, you know what? Let me do it. And then that's when it started. And then another sister of mine told me that the very first drawing that she saw me did was Jollibee. It's a fast food character here in the Philippines, and I think it's already available there in America. But yeah, so I think early on, I really have a proclivity to really do art. Yeah.
So how did that? Did you take formal classes when you were younger, or was it all self-taught?
I didn't. I'm very active with art clubs at school, but since I dropped out of high school and started really working right away, I was 14 then, and then there are offers that come up, and then earlier, like I was 12, I met a bunch of guys who's already working in the industry. So I kind of had they gave me an idea of what kind of road I can go to. And since I don't know, now that I'm older, I realize that the things that I did when I was younger is like I really did ingratiate myself to the community, and it kind of in a way helped me, and then find these guys who really mentored me to, hence me becoming a colorist, and here.
Who was your first mentor? I never asked.
um Actually, Stephen Segovia's friend, which his name is Rex, and he's working with me right now. He's helping me with my work too. So he's kind of my man. He brings me along. I was fairly young then, so he had to like really bring me along to conventions, and I would meet these guys who's just starting then. They're just trying out for Marvel. So yeah, so he's my first mentor, and then yeah.
That's I mean, at a young age, I think that's just amazing that you had some people who were either getting started or just had their feet wet already. I mean,
Yeah,
how fortunate were you, to be able to have those that kind of a circle of friends
yeah.
be there to kind of give you give you a few lessons in how to become a professional.
Yeah, it's not necessarily them teaching me like straightforward. It's like them showing me the ropes, like I'm just following them. And then since we don't have social media back then,
Mhm.
so there will be like conventions here, and then they would like announce like, oh, there's a drawing contest here, and then we were like a group of artists who would go to drawing contests from every city, and then we dominated. So that's how we started, kind of.
Very nice. But now, so what was your first professional work that at least that you would consider professional? Was it in comics, or was it something
It's in
more
comics
local?
actually, and it
Yeah.
was local. So when I decided to drop out of high school and really go for it, I immediately got a comic book gig here. That is where I met Sawi. That is the first
Oh.
work Sawin and I did with a bunch of with a bunch of
When you were
artists.
12?
14.
Oh,
So
14. Okay.
I started 14, and then I got hired around 15. So technically 15 years old. But yeah, I started pursuing the that comic book work when I was 14, and then I was brought on board when I was 15, and then that is the first work I did, published work, until I so basically I started working then, and around that is my local work, and then around 20, when I turned 21, I was like, okay, nothing's happening here, unfortunately, locally, for me as an artist. So I was like, I reached out to my friends like Steven Segovia. I reached out to them, and I was like, can I start coloring? So yeah, so that is how I got into like comics, like mainstream comics.
Hmm.
Hmm.
So was
So, Bill, when we started Next Comic Art, I usually turn to four people. I turned to Miguel Mercado, Kim Jacinto, Rian Gonzalez, and Harvey Toliba. And unanimously, when we were starting out, they were all like, you got to talk to Elmer Santos. Elmer Santos was the name.
Oh, oh,
But since
thank
we
you. I
have
didn't know
several
that.
Elmers, sorry, Ellery.
Mhm.
right, because well, you already had two Elmers in the on the crew,
Yeah.
and you didn't want to have
Oh
a
no,
third.
I think he was the second Elmer. And
Yeah,
so when the third Elmer came in,
yeah. It
dudes, we
became
gotta change your name.
Somebody had to give up their name.
yeah, and we don't want the Hunger Games for Elmers.
Oh my. Yeah, no, you can't have that.
Mhm.
So when you went to them asking about colorist work, I mean,
Mhm.
did you feel like that was a strength and that was what would be your gateway into
Yeah,
comics was going to be coloring?
yeah. Since I think back then, Western comic book doesn't really have a anime leaning type of style.
Hmm.
So my art style is very manga. It's very Japanese art style. And then I figured they're much older than me, obviously. So my art style isn't as really that developed, but I've always been really good with coloring. So when I first met them, the guys that really took me under their wings, they're working with David Campiti. I think it's Glasshouse Graphics. It's a
Oh.
Yeah, that studio. So I joined them, and then I look around. I realize, man, these guys are really good, and my art style isn't really isn't really that developed yet. And then I was like, I made a mental note then, like very young, like, yeah, I can be a colorist. That's why I started really honing my skill towards that, like digital illustration and more coloring. So that is when the time has come that I decided to really pursue it. I was like, yeah, I think I can do it. I contacted them, and they were so graciously to they Stephen Segovia asked me to do one of his prints, and then he posted it, and then a lot of our other artists started asking me who did your pencils, and then I got referred, and then that is how I started coloring basically.
That's great. I mean, so again, it's back to those connections, those early
Yeah,
connections.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So how busy are you, today? I mean, how many different projects are you working on?
Right, actually, I'm working on Wildcats for DC, and then various covers, coloring covers, and commissions. Actually, as well, I often would just say yes to a project if I can squeeze it in my schedule, and
Mhm.
if it's like if I can do it, like why not? It's
Well,
just
we
do
were
it.
supposed to have more art featured today, but a publisher called Ellery last week and it's like, Jiggy, I need to finish it. The
Yeah.
deadline was adjusted earlier, so
Yeah, the printing
okay.
deadline for book four, it got adjusted, and I was like, okay, I guess so. I was hoping I'd be able to do more art, but unfortunately I couldn't. But I hope these three will suffice.
There's always other opportunities down the road, Ellery. You know
Yes,
that.
please.
I saw Robbie in the chat too. He's telling you to break a leg tonight.
Good morning, Mr. Amor. Oh, the three of us were hotel mates in Singapore Comic Con.
Yeah,
Robbie, me, and Ellery.
it is. Oh, it's been fun. We should do that. We should join con soon again.
That
Yeah,
was
how
fun.
was that show?
It's
It
been
was
great.
a, it was the
And
first time for all of us,
Mhm.
so of course there were some birth pains, but it was fun as a
yeah,
whole in general and tiring. I
definitely.
I was so tired.
Yeah, I'm having vivid dreams about the convention. After a few days I arriving from Singapore, I still having those dreams. The convention, but
I
it's a good
understand.
dream though. It's a good dream, not nightmare.
You should, Jiggy. I don't. Did you post any photos of your booth or your time there? I don't
Oh,
remember.
we posted some on Instagram,
Okay.
but maybe I can share with you and can talk about it one of these days.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I'd like. Yeah. Yeah. I'm always curious how something like that would go overseas. I mean, you don't get too many reports from from over there. I mean, as far as like con reports, I think I've gotten. I get several from European cons, but I
Well,
don't think.
from the artists who have been there before, like Harvey and Miko, they said that there were more people pre-pandemic, and I'm
Mhm.
seeing a trend. I think if it's the first convention, like after the pandemic, people are still getting a feel of
Yeah,
the situation and everything. But on the second one, more people will come in.
yeah, and I think
Yeah,
during the Singapore convention, 2 weeks before that convention, they had a very very big anime con. So I think
yeah.
like people are conned out.
Yeah, that is always tough. Usually, when we owned a con, it was in the contract that said like they couldn't have another pop culture con in the same venue within
Mhm.
30 days. So that
Wow.
you kind of put that into your contract, and then that guaranteed that you had a little bit of space around you, so that you weren't going to compete against another con that might have been a week or two, before or after yours. So. Yeah, there's a lot of haggling and stuff, but I get it though. First one back after the pandemic and whatnot. I could see why they might not have as great attendance, but what are you gonna do? That's where we're at. I think. I mean, we've seen San Diego and New York had good crowds this year, right?
Yeah,
Well, New York got a great crowd last year, but in 2021, I visited that time and it wasn't as packed
True.
from the years prior. But
Mhm.
seeing pictures from 2022, okay, more people went to New
Yeah.
York Comic Con.
Alex Moreno says that he dreams of pages that he didn't get. People
Don't
talking
we
about.
all, Alex? Don't we all?
Yeah, yeah. I had a bad dream about Anthony Snyder the other night. Yeah. But so as far as shows go, I mean, what is I mean, 2023 is relatively new, but do you both have plans for anything throughout the year that you're
We will
can share?
announce. I'll tell you after the show, Bill.
Okay, all right. I can't. All right, we're not going to break anything tonight on the show. Then that's all right. I'm hoping that at least we get to run into each other at least once this
Yes,
this year.
please. Yeah.
I think it'll happen.
Okay, good.
Fingers crossed.
So Ellery, I mean, back to you. So so do you feel coloring is something that's you feel it's your strong point? I mean, do you ever want to get into penciling as well?
Actually, that's the main goal. I think
Yeah.
since I can, this is the only career that I imagine myself doing like the rest of my life. I think in the industry there's a lot of facets that I can come into, so that's my ultimate goal. So that is the reason why I started really keenly engaging with Jiggy in terms of producing, drawing myself, is because for me to be able to put my position again in that direction like what I did when I was younger. So and I think with the type of art style, with the type of art that I produce now,
Mhm.
um the Western community is much more recipient now with the type of like mixed manga Western type of style. So I think it's time for me to start really pursuing it, like, and have, and of course, but of course, as long as I still enjoy coloring, and I think I'm really good at it. So I want to keep doing it as long as they would have me, for sure.
Sure, of course.
Mm.
Well, why don't we look at some of? I think the first example stuff that you gave me, Jiggy, were some coloring pieces here. So let's see. I've got a few queued up.
Oh yeah.
So Ellery had a signing locally here with Steven Segovia for
Yeah.
this was Wildcats #1, Ellery, right?
That's the first issue, and actually that was the first ever signing we had here before after the pandemic. So it's been like, it's kind of funny because before the pandemic, the comic store here, it's called Comic Odyssey. We were the last to do a signing then, and then we were the
Oh,
first to do the signing now. So it's kind of poignant, like it's like
full
it's
circle.
yeah, it's full circle. It's kind of nice to see all these guys having us asking us for a sketch, and then I don't think it's well, it's very special to me too, because oftentimes colorists don't weren't able to really do those things, to do sketch as well with alongside the penciler. So I really appreciate it.
No, this is beautiful. I mean, you've done a gorgeous job on this, and
Thank you.
that was the piece that was it a pencil only piece that you then colored, or was it inked as well?
I think he did this digitally, Ellery.
Oh, you did it. Oh, okay, got it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah.
Very cool.
Thank you.
See, I mean, that's what the whole everything's changing, right? I mean,
Mhm.
Yep.
I'm still thinking the old way, that you're going to get some kind of pencil piece, whether it's a rough or whatnot, and then so everything was done digitally and then given to you, and then you colored it.
Yeah, but sometimes pencilers would choose what pages they would pencil, or what. Yeah, so that, yeah.
What
So
will sell?
yeah, what would sell basically.
Right.
So yeah, and
Well, that's
sometimes
why
we,
I always assume that covers typically are the thing that most artists are going to do traditionally, right? Because that's the one that might net them the most money in an after sale or something. So you always hear that, like the artist will do that one traditional, and then the interiors might all be non-traditional in some way, or
and
looser or
sometimes
different.
I would get like fully rendered cover with grays, with shadows, and I would add colors to it. So those are the type of covers that I enjoy, because it's easier. I mean, the colors are already there. I just really have to blend in the color and really complement the drawing itself. So
Well, when you get that from the penciler, then the digital penciler, I mean, what kind of notes are in there for your coloring, or are or do they just kind of know or assume you're going to kind of run with it and do the right thing?
Yeah, I think with in my case, like for example, Miko Swayan, I colored Miko's work before.
Mhm.
So with with how I've approached his art, since it's already rendered basically, so all the heavy lifting has already been done. Some colorways they would add more to it, and my take is it's already there. You don't really have to go against the penciler anyway, so it's more like me complementing the drawing itself. And if I have to accentuate some parts of it, I would
Mhm.
draw over it a little bit, but not exactly really go against the pencil itself, like the drawing itself. Yeah.
Sure, that makes
I
sense.
wonder if Miko's lurking in the comments. Usually he's there
He
listening in
usually
the
is.
background. Yeah.
He'll turn up. He'll turn up,
Yeah,
I'm
Miko, I
sure.
would love to color your covers again.
All right, here is
Carlo
Superman.
Pagulayan's Superman,
Hmm.
but colors by Ellery.
Yep.
Wow, it's gorgeous. I love it.
Thanks. Oh, with this one, with that particular cover, it's fairly easy since I was told not to really tamper with the white suit. So I was like, okay, so I'll just focus on background then. So, so that's the idea.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's why I
We have a
really,
question from our dear friend Johnny McCloskey. So, Ellery, do you have a favorite colorist?
I do. They're actually most of them are Pinoys because they're the one who really showed me the Romulo Fajardo and Rain
Beredo.
Borromeo.
Oh,
What were the names again? I'm sorry, I missed that.
Rom Fajardo and Rain Borromeo.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah. So they're the guys that I really look up to, and still I just had a dinner with Rom actually and asked him how how to really hasten. Oh, thank you, Matthew. So yeah, so basically I still ask them from time to time, and they're the one who's really good at producing quality colors and at the same time with their speed. So yeah, so I would message them from time to time and ask for tips, and yeah,
Yeah, I mean this came out fantastic. I mean,
thank you. Thanks.
Philip
something from the
Tan.
Spider Verse.
Yep, Philip Tan. Oh, Philip Tan is very instrumental with how I were able to develop my colors. Since Philip is very a big fan of anime too, so we kind of have a shorthand in terms of what we want to see in covers. We often just reference like an anime scene or an anime opening, and I would go from there. So yeah, he's working with him. I worked with him closely during the early days of my coloring, and he's very instrumental with my coloring style now. Even in my penciling, sometimes I would look at my inking and I would see the type of hatches that Philip would do on his inking and then kind of replicating on my ink. So I really appreciate. And still, I'm still he's still mentoring me to this day, and we're kind of doing something too as well. So hopefully, I'd be able to finish now and get to it too.
Yeah, well, Philip's awesome. I mean, I've always loved his
Yes.
work,
Yes.
He's a
and
great guy too.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Have I met him? I think I have met him at San Diego. He's
He's
at
usually
Kirk's
in the
booth.
corner booth with Kirk Dilbeck, and
Yeah,
by the
Yeah.
door of hall, it's probably G- between F and G.
right, right.
Yeah.
I feel like I've met him once or twice. I don't know if I've really talked with him at length. I mean, I've talked to Kirk though at his booth, so I'm sure I've run into him a few times. But yeah, his art's fantastic. Obviously, and there's a lot of Philip's artwork on CAF.
Bill,
But
sorry, how do you say? Is it TGW TVHS? That's how you pronounce
Thank
it.
you.
so they can't wait to see
What
how
was
they're.
the commission? Let us know.
Is it still? It may still be being worked on, or maybe.
Yeah, it might.
What's that?
I want to know what it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I saw the Alex mentioned, what do you think of digital coloring? I find it flat with very little shading. See, I would think the opposite. To me, I think digital coloring, while it's still, it's not what we're used to seeing from 70s, 80s, 90s as far as coloring goes. I think that digital coloring has a lot more depth to it. I mean, and I've seen a lot of other conversations where everybody kind of, the artists leave things out because they know the colorists are going to add the shading in a cape or that sort of thing. And so no, I think that there's more depth now, with digital coloring. It may not feel as traditional as, as older books, if you're a big reader in the 70s or 80s like I was, but no, I think it's the opposite. I don't see it as very flat. I mean, I guess, but anything, it always depends on the treatment, right, guys? I mean, there can be some digital coloring that is flat, just because that's just the way it's going to go. But with the way printing has changed in the last 15 years, I mean, all those things have kind of lent themselves to have more depth in coloring than there would have been before. Oh, and there you go. You got your answer, Jiggy.
Okay, so I'll get this from. I'm meeting Ellery with some of the artists later this week. I'll ship to you ASAP. I know that's done.
Yeah, it's done. Yeah, I finished it.
Well, there you go, TG. You'll get to see it soon.
Thank you, TG.
It probably depends on the colorist, according to Johnny.
Right. Yeah, that's what I said too. I mean,
you know what? Since I'm the colorist here, sometimes the penciler would ask us not to really over render it, and then since recently we changed publishing, we the publishers that the publishers go to the printers basically. Mm-hmm. So there are some specifications that were changed. So I think that's one of the reasons why actually the first issue of Wildcats, it's a bit darker because back then that is how should I say this? So basically, the type of paper that they're using now is different. So I had to really see the published work first, and then as I get to see it, I can change the next coming issue. So yeah, so we'll have a better.
So you weren't really sure how that first one was going to print.
Yeah. So yeah, that's why when we get the complementary copies, we'll make sure to really how the color translates and then what to adjust to the next issue. So, and I think it's style wise. Well, in my case, I like shiny things, if you notice. So I think it depends with the artistic approach of the artist as well, and what. Oftentimes, colorists and pencilers, we would work alongside. That is my case. I'm not sure with other colorists, but I think maybe it's with time constraint as well. Sometimes we're given very little time to do it. So like an issue for a day. Not for a day, for a week or something. But those are the type of work that I'm unable to do because I'm not as quick to color. Yeah.
Understood. Let's see here. Yeah, Johnny also said that Ellery was the mystery calf sketch. That's great.
Ellery, the Batgirl, was the one that went to Johnny.
Oh, I remember that one.
Yeah.
Thank you, Johnny. I really enjoyed that piece. I really enjoyed working on that piece.
All right, let's see. I got one more piece here before we start talking about.
Hey, Mannix is here.
Hey, Miko can't be far behind, right?
Oh,
hey, Mannix.
You're my favorite too. Don't tell the others.
So, Bill, could we announce that our next artist spotlight will be Mr. Mannix Abrera?
That's right, in February.
Yeah. And one of the guys here just got a commission from Mannix the other day. It's Josh. So Josh, thanks so much for getting not one but 2 commissions from Mannix.
Oh, nice.
Should be done for the next show, so we should be unveiling it then.
Yeah, Robbie said, "How dare you?" He didn't know Robbie was here. Here we go. One more piece before we talk about Smart for Sale. So tell me about this one. See, there's a lot of depth in this one.
Thanks. Actually, with that one during the pandemic, there there's this time where I only work for European publishing. That was during 2019 to 2020, and then unfortunately the pandemic happened, and the books that I was supposed to color then got canceled. So I started doing digital commissions for like to anyone. And since I started playing Final Fantasy, I did some fan art, and then some of the players saw my treatment with the character, so they started asking me to do their online character and illustrate it in a way like it's from the game itself. So
Hmm.
that is the commission. So yeah, that is the only thing I did the whole 2020, and it's been I think I needed a break too from coloring as well, so it really revitalized with that is the reason why I'm illustrating again, because it kind of made me like realize that, oh, you can draw as well. Why aren't you doing it? So yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean it's a fun illustration. The lighting on this thing is really
Thank
it's really
you.
unique. You've got the light source behind them and kind of
Yes.
above them. I love it. I mean, there's it's just a gorgeous piece. Has a very
Yes.
watercolor feel to it. I mean, you do a great job with the coloring.
Thank you, I really enjoyed that piece. Thank you, Josh. I wish I
Yeah.
could translate it on my trad works though, but I'm working on it.
We'll see your trad works in a bit.
So yeah, hey Jiggy, I'm just kind of thinking this through. We the way the spreadsheet came in, you had those commissions as lot one and lot two. Do you want to maybe move those to the tail end so people can see some
Okay.
of Valerie's
Okay.
work?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then I'll just kind of move
Let's
everything
do
up.
that.
Yeah. All right. Let me just reshuffle a couple things here. It's like, it'd probably be better to see some examples before we get to that part of things here. So yeah,
Thank you.
give me a
This
second.
number one Marvel fan needs some Ellery in his life or her life. I'm not sure if. Yeah.
All right, now I've got a few things shuffled around. So we'll do 3 pieces of art for sale to start the whole thing off today. And like I mentioned before, the art for sale is going to be claimed in the chat.
Hey,
Too.
Sawie's here.
Oh, the whole
Hi.
crew.
The crew is here.
There you go. And TG will hear from Jiggy soon on Sal's piece as well. So yes, back to the art sale part. So claims for the art for sale will happen in the chat. When we get to the commission part, you'll actually email in your information to Jiggy. So that'll be a little different. But the pieces that we show for sale, that are lots essentially 3 through 9, will be claimed in the chat. Anything that doesn't sell, we'll recap at the end, of course. And I always send out an email after the show nowadays, Jiggy, just letting people know when pieces don't sell, just kind of give everybody a last chance to get in there and get stuff. Digital commissions. No, the traditional
commissions, ML.
Yep, that's why I started thinking, we should probably show some traditional pieces before we get to the commission part, just to give everybody a good feel for Ellery's style. And just a reminder on the shipping's a flat $50 from the Philippines via DHL. And of course, if you have claimed any artwork today, we want you to email Jiggy at nextcomicart@gmail.com. And when you do that,
your emails, type.
What's that?
Open your emails, put compose, and put in nextcomicart@gmail.com. Get your thumbs or pointer fingers ready to click send.
That's right. But remember, now claims will happen in the chat, and then for the art that we're going to show. But yeah, definitely if you claim anything, always remember when that we want you to shoot Jiggy an email. You can do it during the show if you want, or wait till the show's over in case you might pick up 2 pieces or something. But always include your mailing address when you send that email in too, just so Jiggy's kind of got all your contact information when he's working things out. So let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and start with lot 3. That was the Spider-Gwen piece on 9x12.
Oh, this is a commission sketch, Bill. Actually, sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was it? Did I get it wrong?
Yeah.
Well, what was in your? Oh, well, you've got it listed. I thought you had that as lot 3.
Yeah, that was It was a commission sketch for $250. Sorry.
Yeah, I think that was the first.
Lots It's my fault.
Oh,
My fault. Lots 1 through 5 are commissions, and then lot 6
see,
through 9.
that's where we screwed up. That's my fault. I'm sorry, Jiggy. So you
No, no,
want me
no.
to start with lot 6 through 9 then?
Yeah.
Got it. All right. Well, then I apologize, everybody, because I had it down wrong, Jiggy.
That
I'm
was a
sorry.
mystery sketch. Someone owns that Gwen already.
I was like looking at that. Well, I thought it looked familiar too. That's why I was
Yeah.
like,
So
Yeah,
Now I
it's
know.
using that as an
that is from the
example.
first mystery
I'm
sketch.
sorry.
No, well, in your spreadsheet it says 9x12 sketch. It didn't, and the other two said commissions. So that's why I was thinking
Yeah,
it looks familiar, but
it's my
maybe
fault.
I'm all right.
Sorry.
It's all our fault, Ellery. See, you never know what's going to happen on a live stream.
First for the year.
Well, then how about we no. Should I show off 4 or should I do 2 now? I should probably just do 2 and save a couple for, and then save the 5 commission opportunities for the end, right?
Yeah.
Sound better?
Yep.
Okay. Well, then why don't we show that Erica Slaughter piece?
Let's do it.
Start things off.
It's here.
It's in your hand. All right. So this is actually lot 6, everybody. So sorry for being so confusing, but we'll start with lot 6 here, and that's a 9x12 Erica Slaughter, absolutely gorgeous. This piece is priced at $250, and again, lot 6. You can claim them in the chat. So Ellery, are you a fan of Erica Slaughter?
Actually, I became aware of her during the convention when I was asked to draw it. Like I'm asking Jiggy what characters I should draw, and then and then when I saw the pieces, and then Sawi told me the story about the character, I became so interested, and I started reading it just now.
I've read a few too. I actually really enjoy it myself.
Yeah. Especially the imagery that I've seen from the other artists, it really gave me an idea how I want her, how I want her to how I would want her to present. So, yeah, I really enjoyed that particular piece when I did it in the convention.
No, it's perfect. So as far as your drawing style, I mean, are these kind of similar to how you would approach a commission, I guess, as far as for something of this size? I mean, it looks like you're using Copic markers and
Actually, with that particular piece, that is like we consider that as a sketch commission. So like more is like sketch, like it's that piece is a lot simpler. So if I'm gonna be doing like an A3 commission, it'll be a lot
Thank you, Winter.
yeah, it'll be a lot detailed and more of a scene for sure. Yeah, so that is more of in a simpler side of things.
Well, it's gorgeous, and thank you, Winter Pal, for picking that one up.
Oh, thank you, Winter.
Congratulations on that. Very, very nice, and in Jiggy's hand right there.
I really enjoyed that piece.
It's really much nicer close up, like in person.
Yeah. It's unfortunate that I didn't get to scan it here, but yeah, I hope you enjoy it, Winner. Thank you so much.
Cool. Thank you.
All right, and we'll do one more, and that will be lot 7, and that was the Rogue that you did, a kind of a 90s feel, and this is.
Is it there with you, Ellery?
Huh?
Is it there with you, next to you? No.
Yeah. It's actually with me. This is the last piece that I did with the pieces, and I refrain from having favorites, but it's becoming my favorite now.
I'll switch over to you for a piece.
So this is the last piece that I did yesterday, and yeah, so it's very rough, and I think at first I was apprehensive about the texture that I did with the background, and then I figured since Rogue is quite rough, it kind of suits her, so I really love it.
Now, is that all? There's some brushwork in there too, right? So you're doing an ink wash?
Yeah, I use ink wash and Copics with this one, and ink for sure.
Wow, that's really nice.
Thank you.
Oh, and
Thank
Fred
you,
has
Fred.
claimed lot 7. Thank you, Fred.
Oh, thank you, Fred.
Yeah, no, that's a great one. And we do have a
Thank you.
couple other X characters coming up after those pair, after that rogue. Again, that 90s style, which is fun. All right, well, we can look at, now that I've totally messed up my scheduling, my order here.
You're fine.
That's why sometimes it pays to have a chat meeting, right, Jiggy? So now I've learned my lesson. Because we used to do that back in the early days, everyone, when Jiggy and I were green at this. We would actually go through the slides and look at stuff. But we've been doing. This is probably like our 12th, 15th show that we've done together. We just think we're so in sync that we can never make a mistake anymore. But we have learned our lesson tonight.
Yeah,
that's all right.
It's live. It's more organic.
Thank you, Ellery.
What's the largest art you can do? Can you do larger than A3? Or stick to A3?
Well, I would love to do that type of art, but it's up to Jiggy if he can send it. Like, I don't know. Yeah, because that is my concern. I've always wanted to do a bigger art.
You can do divisible by 11 by 17, like
yeah.
that,
Actually, some artists would do that, like a connecting piece. I would love to do one. Yeah, since I'm very, I don't know, like I like illustrating posing, but I think with the type of art that I really enjoy doing, I like a scene. So you've noticed like the pieces that I'll be showing.
We'll show it.
Yeah. So I like doing much more of a scene rather than like a pose. But I enjoy those too. I get to enjoy the rendering and details.
I know
Matthew,
we've got a few.
We were supposed to do 11 by 17, but Ellery was pressed for time. So we're just going to do that for commissions.
Yeah.
For two of them.
Yeah.
2 of the 5.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let's take a look at some more art examples. These are personal pieces. So here's a.
These are commissions.
Our commission piece.
Yeah. That one is a commission. That I think this is the much earlier commissions that I did for Jiggy, and I really enjoyed that one too.
I think this belongs to Annika, Bill.
It wouldn't surprise me if it did.
Yeah.
Well, you always think of Annika when you see any Lady Thorpe piece, right? And would this have been on? Was this a 9 by 12 or 11 by 17?
This was 11 by 17.
Okay. So this
Matthew,
would be.
You will see the rate soon.
Yes, we'll do those at the end, but it won't be too far down the road, Matt. But yeah, it's gorgeous. I'm sure when Annika got this, she her jaw was on the table. I mean, this is beautiful.
Oh, thank you. I really enjoyed illustrating this one. Well, I enjoy all of them, but with this particular, I really mixed. It was my first time mixing Copic and color pencils, and I really enjoy it, adding the texture. Thank you, Josh. Yeah, so so as I mentioned earlier, like I really like doing a scene. So oftentimes Jiggy would tell me what type of character, and I would often do them in a scene rather than so I really enjoy a scene type of commission.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. As is this one here. This one's beautiful. I love the color choices on here.
Thank you. Oh yeah, Wanda, you can never go wrong with her.
No, not at all.
So we watched Multiverse of Madness as a team, and right after that, Ellery was just so inspired. I'm gonna draw Wanda when I get home.
Yeah, and then I ended up doing 3 pieces for Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah, this is 11 by 17 as well. Is it using colored pencils, mixed media type approach?
Yeah, mixed media. It's mixed media. I use watercolor as well, and color pencil.
Yeah, it's lovely, very fluid.
And I only noticed now, Ellery, that this is like the dark one. Like if you can see her fingers, it's
Yep.
the darkened fingers, which was
Yeah, and
corrupted by the dark hold.
yeah, I
Mhm.
tried. Yeah, I tried capturing the scene where she attacked the what do you call it? The vase of the. I forgot.
Camouflage.
Yeah. That's the reason why the lower ground is in much warmer tone.
Ah, I
That's how I
see.
imagine it
Okay,
to be.
cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, and Matt loves that one as well.
But she
Do
seems
not
like she's
blame
still a good person here.
And then we got another one here. This is a Psylocke, of course. Very
Yep.
nicely done.
Thank you. Oh, with this one, I'm a big fan of anime, so I would imagine it like like the badass scene. That's why I did a streak of blood on the
Superhero
floor.
landing.
Yeah, superhero landing for sure.
And let's see here. I've got a couple other examples. This is a little different though. What was
Oh
this
yeah,
from?
what was this, Ellery?
Actually, this one is for an indie cover, indie comics for an indie comics, and then they commissioned me to do a cover for them. So
Do you remember the title?
I forgot. Oh God, I'm horrible.
Because when I
Yeah, I
saw it,
remember.
I thought it was really nice.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah,
So this was a commission that kind of got you a job to do
A cover.
a cover work.
yeah. From time to time, I would accept them, especially if my time permits it, and if I really like the character. And oftentimes, I'm more keen on illustrating women anyway. So when I saw the title that they're all women and she's the baddest one, so I choose to illustrate that character.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. I mean,
Mhm.
you want to get out of her way when she's got an accent.
Thanks.
Oh yeah, no, it's beautiful. It's absolutely
Thank
beautiful.
you.
Yeah, I can tell Matt likes your work as well. Yeah, it is. It's fantastic. But too bad we don't know what the title was from.
Too what? Yeah, I forgot. Wait, let's see.
Matthew, which character from Yu Yu Hakusho? Yusuke? Hiei?
Oh,
No,
any anime, I'm down for it. I would immediately.
Ellery, who's Dennis in the Japanese? Like, I remember, but is it Kuwabara?
Kuwabara
Kuwabara?
is yeah the dark one. Is that the dark one?
Who's Alfred?
Uh that I'm not sure.
I
I'm
forgot.
only
Yeah.
yeah, unfortunately
I'm
the
not in,
adaptation, the Philippine adaptation here, they changed the name of the characters, and
Yeah.
that is the only name that I remember of them.
Kurama. Kurama.
Kurata,
Kurama.
the red
Yeah.
one.
there you
Yeah.
go.
Dennis.
Oh yeah, my favorite. Kurata.
They're south. That's south.
Yeah, I need
Thank
my
you.
daughters to be in here because I am not good on any of these things.
South's probably getting mad at us right now for not.
We're butchering we're butchering Ghost Yu Yu Hakusho.
There you go. Then Matt said,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yay.
Very
Vincent.
cool.
Yay.
Let's see. One more example piece here.
Ooh, I love
The
that.
Bakugo, the winter Bakugo, winter
Yeah.
suit.
I was so in rush on sending this piece to Jiggy because I'm just really excited anyway that I forgot to scan it, unfortunately. But I really enjoy it. I really enjoy doing
Like,
this.
do you have a scan of Bakugo? No. Like,
So yeah, and on the left side of the screen, that is the whip that I sent him. So you can see the explosion
The
isn't
changes,
really
yeah.
complete yet. Yeah.
Oh, is that is that pink and pencil? Is that what that is?
No, what I do is I would
Oh, okay.
digitally sketch it
Yeah.
and then have it printed on the yeah. So I'm a huge fan of Mark Brooks. So when I saw his process, and I was like, "Oh, I can do that too." So that's what I've been doing with at least
Yeah.
with the commissions at home.
No, it makes perfect
Yeah.
sense to do it that way.
Mhm.
Honestly, this is great. And right, if it's good for Mark, it's good for anybody.
Definitely. And I've been seeing his new works now, and I was like, oh, I'm such a huge fan of his.
I mean, what do you think when you see his, because he's a guy whose coloring I think is just amazing. I mean, there's not many artists. I mean, there's great illustrators, but then
Yes.
Mark has a great style, but he
Yes.
is just a phenomenal colorist.
There is such a finesse in his
Insane.
art
Mhm.
style that that's what I'm really trying to replicate. Basically, that's how I want my art style to be in the future. How it's like it's it's so finesse. That is the only word that I can describe his art style. Like it's not necessarily hiding stuff. Some artists you would notice they're still hiding stuff with his drawing. It's very precise, and I feel like he really does know the intricacy of illustrating the scene. That it's really, yeah. So I'm a huge fan of his.
I've got a cool print from Mark Brooks.
Oh,
Could I
Yeah, please.
take
show
a
us.
second to actually grab it?
Yeah.
yes,
I
please.
saw it today. I forgot I even had it, but it's amazing. If I could own the original to that, I would merrily put that in my collection. But let's see here. Okay, I think I put it. All right.
Whoa.
So, Bill, you have a separate portfolio for prints only. I'm guessing.
Yeah, basically just stuff that isn't original or and it's oversized because I've got some Frank Cho pieces in here too.
Oh, and Francho too.
Yeah.
His line art. It's amazing.
Okay.
Whoa.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Have you ever seen this?
No.
I don't even know how I got it, but
Beautiful.
look at that. And this is
Wow.
I probably had this thing for at least
Yeah.
10 years. I forgot I
I've
had
never
it.
seen that before.
It's perfect.
Isn't it amazing? I mean,
It's amazing.
his skills are just off the charts everywhere, right? His figure work.
Yes.
Yeah, it's assigned 06. So yeah, I don't even know. I
Ooh,
must have picked it up at San Diego or something.
No,
But
that's fairly old too, but still, it's amazing. And he's gotten even better now.
yeah, yeah. So sorry to show that off, but yeah, I was his stuff has always been pretty
Mm.
impressive. And I'm not a print collector, but I saw this and I was like, I had to have it.
Yeah, you have to have it.
Some prints are like, okay, I need to get a print.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely.
And I agree, Marvel. I should frame that one because it is. It's just it's nice.
It's great.
So I guess we can show two other pieces that we have for sale.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
And let's see. I'm going to go over now. So the next one is lot 8. And I'll highlight that one right now. So we've
Ta-da.
got a Jean Grey on 9x12, and it's $250 as well, as all of the original pieces are that we're presenting today.
Mhm.
So what was when you were thinking of the theme for these three pieces? Was it clearly it was 90s all the way? Or were you
90s all the way. Definitely. I've been meaning to illustrate the 90s X-Men anyway, and I did. Yeah, and then I figured this is my chance to do them with this showcase. And since I mentioned earlier, I like illustrating scenes like from anime, like when you pause an anime video, you would that's how I imagine when I illustrate.
It's
Winter,
winter.
thank you. So that's kind of how I imagine it. Like if I try to showcase my art as if it's an opening scene it's an opening song in anime. That's how I usually do it. Like their superhero pose, and then how they would demonstrate their abilities. So, and then it dawned on me after finishing the three pieces with what we're about to show, what we're showing now. It
Mhm.
dawned on me that they kind of have an elemental feel to it, since
they
Rogue
do,
is
yeah.
more like she's bursting through air, bursting through clouds, and then Jean Grey is just like, I don't know, lifting crushed bathroom bathroom tiles. I don't know. So it's more like earth, and then there's another one is going to be another element to it. So yeah,
Yeah, you can see the concrete and rebar.
yeah.
All right, so one more piece, one more pre-drawn piece here. This is lot number 9, and it's the storm piece, of course. So
Yes.
you got lightning in this one, so it's
Yep. Mhm.
gorgeous. And
Actually, this is this particular piece. This is the first sketch I did for the showcase, and I intend to do this in a much bigger paper. Unfortunately, I have time constraints, so I ended up doing her in a much smaller paper. But I still enjoy it since I zoomed it out a little bit and really showcased the hair and and her cape like that. So yeah, this one it's I really enjoyed this one too.
yeah, I love the composition on it. It's
Thank you.
yeah, no, it's fun. I mean, with her cape, because she always had that, that uniquely shaped cape.
Mhm.
And so I think you've done something really fun here with this one that you don't see
Yeah.
too often when drawing it. But yeah, she's yeah, you always know the 90s costumes, right? When you see
Yep.
these, it's just like, yep.
And the reason why I intend to do a grayscale, I did them grayscale is
Mhm.
because I intend to color them myself and kind of color them the way I would color the covers. So I kind of I'm hoping to use them as a portfolio too for my coloring. So I'm going to color this prints these commissions, and then yeah, just for me to practice on my what type of approach I would do if I'm going to showcase penciling and digital coloring as well, so that you know.
No, that's pretty smart.
Mm.
Yeah, no, these are this would be fun. Well, this is kind of like you're getting a piece from somebody else, right? I mean, sometimes this is what you're
Mhm.
going to get before you would digitally color
Yeah,
something.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yep.
So definitely, I would revisit these
Hmm.
drawings and have them digitally colored and but it's for myself.
Well, it's gorgeous. It's still available, everybody. So you can think about it. That is the last original that we have for sale, though. So we've
Yep.
got
Yeah.
commission slots coming up that we'll kind of end the show on, and then I'll remind everybody that one's still out there. But that's going to make for a short email tomorrow when I send it out. If we don't sell just the one piece, but that's okay. I think we'll still get it done. Let's see here. So I guess these are a few more commission pieces coming up next.
Samples.
Well,
Show
yeah,
everyone.
yep.
Her.
So
I
you
love.
probably know who this belongs to. So there's one collector who does Lady Snowbird.
Yes.
That's what Ellery did, yeah.
Yeah, I enjoy doing this. I've watched the scene where she killed that particular scene, so I tried to replicate it and kind of make it as a poster. So because when I first got the commission, that is the first video that I saw of her,
Hmm.
and I kind of with my take with my process in my art, I what I try to do, whether it's coloring or a commission piece that I would finish myself, I make sure that I want to be able the commissioner to connect to it right away. So what I would do is really try to capture what I think the commissioner would want to see it. The same way with the pencilers, when I try to color for them, I'll make sure to see their colored works as well and kind of look their art on how they render their art so that when I process it myself, it's not as foreign to them and they would like it immediately since I'm leaning towards the type of artistry that they're into. So so that's kind of my how I process my drawings.
Was this 11 by 17 as well?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Mhm.
Wow. No, it's gorgeous. Never. This is a piece I'd love to have in my hands just to get a feel for it because it's
Thank you.
so vibrant. And
Thanks.
because I mean I'm just curious how you laid down the reds and everything. That red background is just so it's so perfect. I mean
Thank you.
again I'd love to see this thing in person.
It's yeah. Thank you.
No, my pleasure. And then let's see.
Oh, that is the one. Oh, the tiles again.
Yes, exactly. The rebar, and you got a thing about destroying restrooms, or maybe it's a subway. Maybe it's a
Yeah,
subway.
it's a subway. It's
There we go.
I think this is the first one of the first commissions that I did for
Yeah,
GC for
one of the first.
GE. Yeah, one of the
It's
first. Yeah,
probably Scott's bathroom. I don't know. Maybe. Why are
I
you with
know.
Emma?
Well, she's a one woman demolishing team. I think.
Well, no, this is. Well, I'm sure the commissioner was very happy with this one.
I hope so too. Oh yeah,
And
with the Phoenix as well. I kind of imagine it more. I added more of a Eastern inspired to it. Like there's a halo. I often see
Oh,
firebirds in more Japanese leaning. They have kind of halo there. So I was like, ooh, I want to do that. So I added halo to it. Like
yeah, no. I mean, it's gorgeous.
thanks, thank you.
And yeah, wherever Phoenix goes, there's a lot of repair bills. I get it.
Oh, that one too.
Yeah, this is really nice. I mean, you always, the color choices when you have a piece like this with Delirium in it, you're always curious to see how an artist is going to approach it. But this is fun. I mean,
I
you've
hope
done
I
a
hit.
really
Okay.
wonderful job on this one.
Yeah, I often saw her depicted with leather jacket, and I was like, you know what? Yeah. And then since I like black Americano, so that it kind of contrasts with her colorfulness. She's
So the
drinking.
commissioner didn't ask for a coffee cup in
No.
Yeah,
there?
they would. I would often get just the name, and then I would imagine it how I want them to be depicted. And I was like, I think that is a cute touch. Like I don't know, like a millennial, a millennial looking.
No, I love it. I mean, I really do. I
Next
think it's
time,
a fun choice. You're adding a bit of yourself, into the
Definitely,
piece. Get a little bit of humor, a little bit of fun. I mean, it's great. I
I
love
have
it.
I have that specific jacket actually.
Well, then you've added more than we knew before that. So
yeah.
your
Yes.
jacket and your vice with the coffee all in one.
Yeah.
Ellery, next time it can be the unicorn frappuccino.
Oh, oh, that could be it. Ooh, oh, That's a nice. Okay, I should do that. Like her sipping on a unicorn frappuccino and with. Oh, okay. You just gave me an idea for a piece, Jiggy.
Oh man, let's see. We got a couple more example pieces here.
Ooh.
Wow, look at that. That is great. And again, with that red,
Hmm.
I love it.
Yeah. I imagine it like an opening, anime opening too. So
Mhm.
that's why you would see those type of illustrations in anime, and I kind of wanna replicate it for with that series.
Right. What was the series again? I should
Trece.
remember this. Say that again.
Trece.
That's right. That's
It's
right.
13 in Spanish.
Yes.
Wait,
No, I know that because we've seen several pieces that the crew has done from this. Right. I mean, it's very cool. It's very cool. I love the background in there as well. I mean, it's just a fun element. I always like stark color pieces, and the
Mhm.
silhouettes of those is the way that's done is really fun.
Thank you.
Yeah, let's see a little different one here. We got Mystique
Yeah.
settling an argument, of course.
I love this piece.
Yeah, again, and you're the way you handle the background there too. I mean, rather the yellow. I mean, you could have
Mhm.
done lots of different things, left it
Mhm.
without anything there, but the yellow really just kind of helps tie it all together and ground
Yeah.
the characters a bit. And
Mhm.
yeah, I mean that's fun and a nice element to this piece that I just think makes it
Thank
uniquely
you.
you.
Thanks.
Let's see. I think that
it's
was
one
that
of
the
my
last one.
favorites from Ellery. The
What's
Mystique.
that?
One of my favorites that he's done.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I don't blame you. Mystique's
Thank you.
I've only owned a few like published pages with Mystique, but she's always such a fun character. I mean, just
Actually.
from her,
With the
from her
wink.
color. I always wanted to get like I mean, there's several artists I could think of that I'd love to get something by, with Mystique, but
Mhm.
yeah, very nicely done there.
Thank
Was
you.
it Joe Linsner who did the covers before for that Mystique series?
Yeah, because that's exactly who I was thinking of initially. Was Linsner would be a good choice, right? I mean, he's a guy who's a great colorist too, right? I mean, who stands out as a great illustrator and just a great, he's got a great sense of color too. I mean, it's yeah, nope. Yeah, I've got what do I have from him? I've got some. I can't even remember. I still can't remember. It'll come to me later. But I love Joe's stuff. I've had him on the show a few times. He's fun.
Yeah.
So hey, now we can talk about the 5 commission slots that you've got available that we were going to do all via email. So everybody knows it's not a claim in the chat. We just want you to be able to email Jiggy, and Jiggy, I guess you'll confirm it when, for people that if something's been gotten, if you guys end up wanting to do a waiting list on some things, I assume you'll handle that on your own. You'll work that out with anybody who's interested. So we do have 5 commission slots tonight, and just kind of, I won't tell you the prices initially, but what there will be for, since you've seen examples of Ellery's work now, the first one's going to be for an 11 by 17 single figure, but with backgrounds, as you've seen, in those examples. I assume we could show like the Phoenix piece that we were just looking at, some to that kind of level, or like the Lady Thor, like the Scarlet Witch. So those are going to be 11 by 17 single, and there's also going to be an 11 by 17 2-character piece that commission that is available tonight as well. And then there will be 3 of the 9 by 12s that we saw as well. Those would have been the X-Men pieces that we showed earlier, and we have examples that we'll show with each of these as we show them. So you'll just send in your email to Jiggy, and I can highlight that on the screen there. So nextcomicart@gmail.com, and let them know which one it is. Use the lot numbers that we show, then that'll just make it easier. And again, Jiggy will get back to you and let you know, and coordinate everything with the character. You don't have to say what character you want right now. You could think about it initially if you want, but just to get on the list with Ellery. So let me go ahead and show. Let's see. I changed my order. Lot 1's down at the bottom. So here
should we remind them about the email address?
You want me to put what's that?
Oh, the email address.
Yes. nextcomicart@gmail.com is whom you want to email to do this. So lot 1 is for the single character 11 by 17 commission. And so we've got a Psylocke here. This is very indicative of what you're going to get as far as backgrounds and the primary characters. So a lot of work obviously going into this, that and again, on 11 by 17, price on this is $500. You're definitely going to get a mixed media piece with the color, probably a little bit of pencil, and whatever's in Ellery's tool bag, beyond watercolor and pencil and colored pencil. I mean, do you ever use things like gouache? I mean, to kind of get a dark color?
Right now, I actually bought the setup for gouache, and I'm teaching myself on using it more. So eventually you would see pieces with gouache in it rather than watercolor, for sure.
But so it's a new medium for you. So something that you're going to experiment with.
I'm still experimenting with it. Sure. But definitely with how bright the red was with the Lady Snowblood, that one is gouache. So I use it sporadically with my illustration, but not entirely for an illustration, because I'm still having a hard time controlling it.
Yeah, that's what I did go to art school, and I tried using gouache, and I had a hard time with it as well. I gave up. I was a quitter when it comes to gouache. It didn't work quite like watercolor or acrylic for me, so I just said no.
I'll let you know, Bill, because that's been my issue right now. And I was like, maybe I should just give up on gouache and just focus on watercolor, and just use it if I really need a solid color. But until then,
Nope,
Wash and I are having an issue.
So no rebar, broken subway tiles in this one. It's the gate. The gate of the expansion has been destroyed during
Oh,
this.
yeah. That's kind of how I imagined it. Actually, with this particular commission, I would like, what if I what if I draw a piece for a toy? What would it look like?
Mm.
So that's
For
why
a statue.
for a statue,
Yeah.
yeah. hmm So
No, that's great. So,
So that's
so
still available.
all right, there you go. So no one's claimed the first commission. So I will show you the price on the 2 character commissions. Not much difference. It's only $600 for 2 characters on 11 by 17. And again, this is a lot of work went into this one, Ellery. I love it.
thank you. Well, with this piece, I imagine like what if they would ask me to do a poster for them, and I was like, okay. So that's so that's kind of yeah. And with this piece, I haven't seen the movie yet when I did the drawing, I think. And the last scene where the last scene where she confronts the main villain, and I really love where she pointed at the camera, and I kind of want to incorporate it in my own drawing. So that's the that's the thinking behind it when I did it, when I did that piece.
This one's taken.
All right. Well, yeah, I didn't think this one was going to last. And I should keep reminding everybody, for these commission pieces, nextcomicart@gmail.com is the email address to email and just let us know on the lot numbers. And, as we always tell people who are watching the shows after the fact, because we do get a lot more viewers after the show than we do live, that if you see a piece that was not claimed during the show, you're more than welcome to shoot Jiggy an email at the same email address, nextcomicart@gmail.com, and make an inquiry on one of the commission slots, or if the storm piece doesn't sell before the end of the show too. So
Yeah.
we always encourage that.
Yeah.
And if you missed out on that one, I mean, that's a pretty nice opportunity. Obviously, Ellery's got a busy schedule, but if there's if I'm sure
Matthew claimed lot 1, so I'll email Matthew. I have your email.
Oh, thank you, Matthew.
Thank you, Matt. Sorry, I wasn't
email.
paying attention to the chat.
I wasn't too. I just saw it now. Sorry.
Thank you very much, man. All right, that's awesome. Well, no, Jeff, we wanted everybody to shoot in an email, but just because we wanted to kind of get the contact information right away, so that Jiggy's got it and can do the coordinating the characters and whatnot versus claiming the chat. But it's fine, hey, at the end of the day, if you claim in the chat, we'll take it either way at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was that. Instructions be damned. I didn't make the slides the right way either. I should have put the email address on the slide, but I didn't. So the last 3, they're all the 9x12s, and I showed one earlier as if it was for sale, but it's not. This is a commission opportunity for a 9x12 piece. We saw the 9x12s as well from Ellery, or with those X-Men 90s pieces. This is another example. I mean, again, it looks a little. Can't see any mixed media on this. Is this all Copics? And
they're all Copics. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, would that be the standard? Would be all Copics, or
not necessarily. If it calls for another medium, I would definitely do it. Especially with if there's specific effect that I want to capture and I'm unable to do it on my Copics, I would definitely use other medium as well to really do
right. It really depends on the
it really depends on the art actually and how I want to capture it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
And you work on heavy Bristol, so you could really do watercolor, or a little, you have a tough board to work with.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
All right. So like I said, we're going to have 3 of these 9x12s available.
Maybe we can show lots 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah,
since they're all the same.
Yeah, just to give you examples for these level pieces, and you saw some other examples earlier too. The 3X characters from the 90s. So so these won't be in full color certainly, but again, it's Ellery's just
Yeah.
Your discretion, Ellery, on the character and the color choice, on you know, what you might add to them.
Yeah.
These
But
were from the very, very first mystery sketch.
yeah.
That's right. You know, I was looking at them and I'm thinking, I feel like I've seen these before.
Yeah,
But
these
they're-
are for the first mystery sketch. So basically, my idea with these pieces, I was like, what is the color that these characters you would associate with, and then
Mhm.
I use it as their like a silhouette, like an like a design element for the basically for the character. So
Yeah.
I figured, yeah. So I figured I can add like green shadows and
So what would it be for delirium, Ellery?
Huh?
If it's delirium, what are you gonna use?
Oh yeah, with delirium, I don't know. Maybe I'll
One
just drop
color.
all the tape on the paper and call it a day.
Yeah, that'd be a tough one if you were trying to limit yourself to one
Yeah,
color.
you're right with delirium. Oh yeah, you're right. You just gave me an existential crisis.
But yeah, these are great, and I do remember these. I think I think I mailed these. That's why they look so familiar. I handled these three
Yeah,
artworks,
you
so
held them.
I feel terrible now that, you know, when we started the show and it didn't register. I was looking at that Spider Gwen and I'm thinking, gosh, my daughter would love to have that.
So those are available. Let me know.
Yep. So lots 3, 4, and 5. You know, no one's
Yeah.
claimed the 9x12s, but
Mm.
you know, if you don't do it during the show, obviously anybody watching after the show, and I'll send out a mailing as well tomorrow, kind of outlining those things that didn't sell, and people can hit Jiggy up, as we've said already, nextcomicart@gmail.com, and of course, Winter Powell and Fred, you know, you picked up those pre-done pieces, so email Jiggy after the show as well to get so you can get your contact information. He can take care of all the invoicing. And I could remind everybody the one piece that has not sold, and that was another 9x12. That was the Storm, and this one was priced at $250, lot 9, and it's gorgeous.
Thank you.
So Ellery, I mean, it's a good thing that you're too busy. You know, I mean, at the end of the day, right? I mean, you're doing work. You're increasing your street cred in the business, which is really what you know. What anybody's doing. I mean, we're all fortunate when artists have the opportunity to do commission pieces and whatnot, just because we all know, you know, you got to be chasing the published work, regardless of you know, of whom you're working for. So it's great that you had the opportunity to do this for us today.
Well, the way I see it is like a stand-up comedian, I need to look for spaces for me to have my time. So for me to be able to showcase what are the other things that I can do, that's why I'm really keen on doing commissions as well, because I get to really you know, position myself going towards that direction to more on a penciler direction in the future. So that's why I still enjoy I enjoy illustrating for Jiggy, and you know, and producing drawings for him.
Sure. I saw a question come in from Sir Ubasan. I'm new here. Is this about art or comic creating? It's about art. I mean, my name is Bill Cox, and I run a channel here on YouTube for primarily for comic art collectors, but of course we are all comic art buyers, and we interact with artists all the time. So tonight we have Ellery on the show. He was selling some artwork. We were getting, you know, doing a background interview with him as well. So we try to cover many aspects of the comic business as we can, related to the art side and comic creating. So, but we don't really get into the technical side of creating comics, but we talk about it. You know, we talk about you know, that a bit with the artists. But if you're into comic art, I would suggest, if you're not familiar with comicartfans.com, you should check that out, because that's where all the art's getting shared. You know, Comic Art Fans will have its 20th anniversary on February 1st. Everybody,
Congratulations, Bill.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? Yeah, I'll have a, you know, that best of ceremony will be fun, because that'll be kind of like a, you know, a celebration of that. And I'm even having a get together here in Florida. I wish you were coming to the States, Jiggy. you would have you would be able to come to the get together. We're having an art meetup, but it's
It's in
20th.
Florida.
Yeah, it's at my house. So, but I am starting a show in Florida in 2024, Jiggy,
Oh.
and it's a comic art focused. It'll be but in person. So, and February too. So a great time to come to Florida where, the weather's very spring-like, and, you make a little trip out of it. There's
I've been there once during the spring,
Uh-huh.
and I felt like it was the same temperature here as
Yeah.
yeah. It's nice.
Right. See, so
Yeah.
you don't get any benefit to coming here, but the parks are here. So you come out here, you could go to Universal, the whole Marvel Island there. It's
Mhm.
worth it.
Go, maybe I can convince Harvey if he wants to take the Galactic Star Cruiser thing.
That
We'll
I would
see.
love to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, so that's what we were thinking was doing. Put it in the wintertime, and then that would give people reason to come out. To slightly warmer weather, and again, there's just so much to do here. And like you said, the Galactic Cruiser, I'd kill to go on that thing. Just to spend a weekend there would be worth it.
Can I announce something too, Bill? Since
Please do.
Yeah. So if it weren't for Bill, we wouldn't be where we are right now. So Bill, thank you very much. I started with one artist, which was Miguel Mercado, and I'm happy to say that we have artists 28, 29, and 30 signed on.
Mm-hmm.
Subscribe to our newsletter. You'll see who they are. Very excited to unveil the 3 new artists of next comic art. And personally, I feel I'm gonna stop first at 30 artists in the roster. I need to take care of every single one of them.
Right. But it's a lot of work.
I think people will be happy with the 3 new artists. One of them happens to be my classmate from kindergarten. Believe it or not.
Did you remember that they were your classmate? Or
yes.
Wow.
We kept in touch, but I didn't know that he moved to New York. So there was a collector, a friend of mine, sent me, "Hey, do you know this guy?" Like, holy crap, that's my classmate from kinder. And then I went over to the booth and we got to talking. He recently got a gig with DC, and then I told him, please remember that I was trying to recruit you even before you broke in. So
yeah, that's awesome.
Stay tuned.
Right, and as far as signing up for your mailing list, you just need to go over to nextcomicart.com, and you can see it right next to Jiggy's name. And there's a sign up form on the site right there when you get on there. So do it. Jiggy, he sends out 1, maybe 2 emails.
Maybe once a week.
Yeah, I mean it's not that frequent. Yeah, it's not going to spam you, everybody. You'll be happy to get it. He always lets you know about commission opportunities, art drops on the site, and potential appearances where they will be attending.
But next month is Manic, so a year after he did his first artist spotlight, and he'll have some new stuff available.
That's correct. On the 21st, so it's a Tuesday. It would be February 21st is when we've got Mannix on the show. So yeah, lots of stuff happening. So Ellery, I'm confident that we will sell the remaining lots for you by this time tomorrow. Yes, without question. And so I will, I'll send out a mailing tomorrow, Jiggy, in the morning, to letting people know what's available. So maybe if you could email me by the end of your day.
Yes.
At where where we are, what may still be available, and then I'll just get an email out by noon my time tomorrow, and we'll get this done. Because I'll pick up Ellery. I'll pick up a 9x12 if there's one still remaining. I never to buy. I never buy anything until it's like everybody else has had their opportunity. I never cheat, although I have the power to do so. I never do.
I would jump head first.
All right. But yes, we will. We'll be talking if there's a space available. So But again, this was a lot of fun. I appreciate it, Ellery. This
Yeah, I've been so apprehensive about this, and I can't believe how easy it is. And I urge my fellow artists in Next Comic Art to do this too.
No, we always have a good time. I mean, we're just hanging out, and we get the side benefit is we also get to sell artwork while we get to know one another. So that's very fun. But all right, well, listen, everybody, I can't tell you how much I appreciate everybody for tuning in. This was a fun show. Ellery, again, thank you. And I bet you have a lot of work to do, but now you've got a couple commissions to work on as well. So that's always good. And,
I just finished the book, so I'm pretty confident that I'll be like coasting along.
Fantastic. All right. Well, Jiggy, you wanted to hang out in the chat afterwards, so
I need to tell you some secrets.
Yeah, I want to get some of the scoops that I can't scoop on it yet, for everybody. but again, thanks for tuning in, everyone, and
thanks everyone.
Yes,
and Happy New Year.
Thank you for reminding. Yes, Happy New Year, everybody. We'll see you again soon. I'll be here tomorrow. Good night.
Good night.